Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, wanted to talk about a couple of things today. To be honest with you, I was going to go off of like something of a list that I have, just different topics to mention and just kind of like go off of that way. But today some events took place. I woke up this morning to this massacre that took place in Vegas. And, it reminds me of like back in 2001, 9/11. It was the same scenario. It was like I woke up in the morning, had no idea what the heck was going on. I was watching something on TV. I'm like, is this a movie? Like, what is this? This is like some high production crap. And now I'm an avid movie watcher. I'm like, I don't recognize this movie. Is this something new? Like, what is going on? And then I turn on social media. I'm looking on my Facebook. I'm like, Vegas, we're with you. Vegas. I'm like, nah, this can't be happening. No freaking way. Turn on, and then I start reading through and I'm looking into it and I'm like, this is some crazy shit world that we live in where you can't even go enjoy your freaking concert, just go about your day, every day. And you know what the funny thing is though? It's not exactly funny, but we're here in this country, in the United States, we're protected by our borders from sea to shining sea. We had an ocean on both sides. Our guys are, our friends up top, the Canadians, amazingly lovely people. Plenty of my friends are Canadian. Mexicans, a lot of friends who are Mexicans. And it's like, we all have our, differences and everything, but, there are other countries out there, like where my family's from, which is Israel. And, we go through that on a much smaller scale, but on a daily basis in Israel. So it's nothing new to the rest of the world. And then I think some other situation also in Spain today, in Catalan, where they were just doing some voting. They were going out there just to, it was a voting referendum, and the police somehow got involved, and they started pulling people, beating on people, breaking people's fingers. I mean, I get, in certain scenarios where, sometimes the rioting gets a little out of hand, but, police as police, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be beating on people. You're supposed to hold. Anyway, that's a whole other scenario. It's just like everything just came at me at once today from like all different directions. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this world? And I'm sorry for cursing, but I did say that on the first episode that I might, and you may actually hear me do that every now and again, if not all the fucking time. And then at the end of the night, I was watching Def Comedy Jam's 25-year anniversary, which makes me kind of feel old because I remembered watching every single one of those on Def Comedy Jam growing up. So as you can see, the spectrum of my day is everywhere. Starts one way, went this way, went that way, ends it this way. But as the day is nearing, a lot of people that I know are starting to finally, getting in touch with certain individuals that they knew in Vegas, or were not getting responses. And it's sad. It's just so sad when it's one thing to hear about other people, and it saddens you in one way. But to know that somebody close to somebody that somebody that you're like, your second degree of separation or first degree of separation, that person you could have met in your life. You maybe did meet, you just never had an impact to the point, and they were there. I mean, there was 22,000 people at that concert. I mean, there's no way that within first 1 degree or 2 degrees of separation, somebody didn't know somebody out there in Vegas. And I don't know. I don't know where this world's coming to, and it's crazy. And and then all the conspiracists came out. And a lot of it makes sense, because if you look at history, a lot of it makes sense. Gun control. Everybody starts screaming gun control, and then other people starting to scream different things, like how they're talking about one thing impacts the other, and on CNBC we're talking about some other things, and it's just everywhere. Media was taking it from every different aspect, and social media was just blasted from all different scenarios. And you know what? And you can't you can't just deny any one of it. You can't decline any allegation, because it's the bottom line is some of it's got to be true. I mean, here we go. They finally find out the guy's like 64 years old. The guy's got no ties to any kind of terrorist groups, ISIS, whatever the case may be. His brother is here. He's a local Floridian. He started going off saying a whole bunch of crap. Yeah, so there was an issue with their dad. He used to be a bank robber or something. He was to be on the FBI's most wanted list, whatever the case may be. I mean, they're just digging in. I don't even know if they're making up shit. But to make a long story short, but if you look at the other media from like other countries, like Israel's media says that this guy supposedly, they had intel that this guy, for about two, three months ago, he was a converted Muslim. Whoa. I mean, hello. Now we're talking about a whole nother realm of different things. And the American media has not even touched that yet. They haven't even gotten to that yet. But since my background and a lot of my family members and the people that I know in the community, they're just like, hey, look at this article. They're already speaking about that this guy 3 months ago was converted into Islam. And then I don't know. And then they start questioning, well, where was his girlfriend? And well, his girlfriend was conveniently out of the country. Why was she out of the country? And then, and I'm just like, it's crazy how everything just goes everywhere. Well, so the only thing that I can say to turn this into a positive note is, my heart and prayers do go out to all the lives that were lost and all their friends and families, because we've all lost something before. We've all lost someone in one way or another, and it's never easy. However, we live with their memories, and with their memories in us, they live on forever, as long as we choose to remember them. And everybody out there was out there helping. The funny thing is, if I would have been in Vegas, and I know some friends of mine, if we would have been in Vegas, we would have totally been at that concert. And you never know how things could have went. A friend of mine called me up, and he goes to me, because he works for a sound company, and he was telling me that was his company was doing that show. And he's like, a friend of mine got shot 3 times. Another one, pulled a bullet out of a cab. And the one that was shot 3 times, thank God, he's alive. It wasn't fatal. So, I mean, this shit's just nuts. It's just nuts. But the thing about us is we're human, and you never know. It's not about gun control. It's about being aware. It's about taking precautionary measures. It's about not being naive and saying, we're in the safest country in the world. Well, you know what? I don't believe we're in the safest country in the world. I believe this country is safer than most countries in the world. But I don't know if we're the safest country in the world. Because at any given time, anybody driving down the street can decide to just say, you know what? I just feel like running this guy over right over here just because. Why? What happened? There's nothing that'll define a person's doing. I mean, yeah, you can say, well, maybe he was psychotic. Maybe he had a psychotic breakdown. Maybe he just took a phone call from his girlfriend. Maybe he was preemptive. I don't know. Maybe the guy just loves to travel with fucking 10 pieces of firearms and fully automatic weapons. It's not that you can buy a fully automatic weapon just straight up from any store, but, anybody who knows anything about weaponry knows anything is modifiable if you have the means and the know-how. And it's sad. It was a sad day today. And I keep saying and no, I'm not going to edit any of this. There's no need to edit any of this. But anyway, we move on. Hopefully we learn from this, and hopefully we progress from this. And we stride towards making it better. It's not, gun control is not going to solve this issue, because just because you have gun control doesn't mean there's no guns out on the street. you know what? You buy back 10 guns, 30 more are being purchased. I don't know how that program works. So if anything, you're just disarming individuals that may actually need it. I don't know. I'm pro-gun. I just don't see how more gun control is going to help any of this. More security may help this. Learning to possibly put metal detectors in public places like this, casinos, public hotels that house over a specific amount, or maybe have a certain amount of floors or stories or something like that. I mean, we do this in government buildings, so why can't we do this in every public establishment that may benefit some kind of a purpose, like or such a scenario? There's a lot of different things in Israel. They got, in every shopping mall that you go into, there's a metal detector that you have to go through. There's a security guard who checks your bags. It's not what do you call it? It's not an invasion or an invasion of privacy. It's to secure everybody else that's in there. You want to feel safe. You want to know that you've walked through. And why does the airport have this whole security thing when you go to the airport? Because a couple of bombings on a plane? You know how vulnerable airplanes are without even having to go through freaking security? Just think about it. Do you really need to go through security? Does a terrorist really need to go through security in order to freaking bomb a plane? No, they don't. But they do that because they want to scare the shit out of you while you're up in the air. They want you to feel terrorized. So we got to just learn to become better people. All in all, we just have to become better people. We got to stop with the hatred, period. We're human beings. We got to live together. We got to be with each other. We got to live in harmony. If we all helped each other, and if we all strive towards a similar goal where every single one of us can benefit, the rich will still be rich. The poor don't need to be poor. The rich have more than enough money to secure the poor and still be rich. But, greed over everything else. Anyways, so on that note, I'm just going to say heart prayer goes to everybody out there, and just be strong, and whenever you can help somebody, just help them. If you can't, you can't. If you can, then why not? You never know. You never know when you can pay something forward, or somebody else will pay forward something back to you. But it's a beautiful circle when it works that way. So on that note, I'm going to tell you guys, thank you for watching, and feel free to comment on any of this, and we'll talk soon. See you guys.